I will give you a penny and a thought. Everyone sees the world from their own perspective. Everyone sees the world from their own perspective. That's it. Well, you know, it was a penny after all. Can't get much for a penny. You may be thinking, now tell me something I don't know. You may be aware of the fact that everyone sees the world from their own perspective, but you still respond to people in your life as if they see the world exactly as you do. Have you ever heard yourself saying, what was he thinking? Or why did she act that way? Why did she do that? Well, imagine what would be possible if we could all understand the differences better between each other and in how that would improve our relationships. Imagine if we could actually learn to appreciate the differences in each other. Well, that could be life-changing. It will at least make you aware that people see the world differently than you do. So today, we are going to spend a little bit of time, the next few minutes, on your favorite subject, which is you. This is just a quick overview, and I can only hope to just hit the high points, but I'm going to present to you a brief glimpse at the 4 main personality types. Now, we're going to use the penny in the chart that I gave you earlier, and this chart is going to represent or represents the model of human behavior, also known as DISC. And the penny is just going to be a little tool for us to use as we go through this. Now, the model of human behavior basically charts out your natural behavioral tendencies, which have been with you for all of your life. Now, your environment can shape these tendencies, certainly, but we pretty much are born the way we are. And I just want to have a little disclaimer here at the beginning. Everybody here in the room is a combination of all 4 of the main personality types. So the idea here is not to pigeonhole you into one type, but it should be pretty fun. Now, to get us started, everybody just put your penny here in the center of your chart there and just leave it there for a moment. And let's just suppose that one day we're sitting together and having coffee, and we're getting to know each other, and we're just talking about things like where'd you grow up and where'd you go to school and things like that. And I look across the table and I ask you this question. Do you consider yourself to be more outgoing or more reserved? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, I'm both. Sometimes I'm outgoing and sometimes I'm reserved. And it could be 51% of one and 49% of the other. But how many of you sitting here today would be willing to, just for our time together, raise your hand and say, I tend to be more outgoing? Okay? How many of you think I'm probably a little more reserved? Would you give me a little nod of your head? Just a little nod? Okay. All right. Now, this is where the penny comes in. You've got the penny in the center of your chart. Those of you that raised your hand and said, I tend to be more outgoing, I just want you to slide your penny to the top part of your circle. Just slide it up there and leave it. Don't worry where it is. And those of you that nodded at me and said, I tend to be a little more reserved, if you'll just move your penny down towards the bottom half of your graph and just leave it there. Okay? Now, we're still having coffee. I have one more question for you over coffee, and that is, do you consider yourself more of a task-oriented person or more of a people person? Now, again, you're going to be both. Everybody is. But let me give you a little hint on this one. Right before you fall asleep at night, are you thinking about your inbox, tasks to be completed, items to check off, deals to close? Are you thinking about people, relationships, emotions? Maybe she took that the wrong way. Maybe I should call her tomorrow. That might kind of help you gauge whether you're a people person or more at the task person. How many of you would be willing to raise your hand right now and say, probably tend to be a little more task-oriented? Okay? How many of you, if you would, just give me a little nod of your head if you're more of a people person. And if you would, smile, because people like to smile. Okay, here we go. Now, you are either at the top or the bottom, and you're going to stay at either the top or the bottom half of your graph. All we're going to do now is, if you raised your hand and said, I'm more of a task-oriented person, if you would just move your penny to the left side of the graph. Now you're either going to be touching a D or a C. Does that make sense? Okay? Those of you that said, I'm definitely more of a people person, you gave me a nod and a smile, if you would move your penny to the right side of the graph. Now you're either going to be on the I or the S. Everybody there so far? Fabulous. Oh, that was very easy. Now what we're going to do, we're going to have a little fun with this. I'm going to go through the 4 different types very quickly and give you an overview. And remember, we're a combination of all, but this is probably where your penny is right now, is probably your primary or your most dominant personality trait. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to start with the D's because, quite frankly, the D's, they expect to go first. The D type is called the dominant type, and their symbol is the exclamation point. That's because they want to, let's go, let's get things done, have places to go and people to see. They tend to move quickly. They like to be in charge. They're natural-born leaders, and they want results. So just remember, if you're dealing with someone that's a high D, they want results, and they want it yesterday. The next type we're going to talk about is the I type. The I type, this is the inspiring group. These people are very interested in people. They're very impressive. Their symbol is the star because, well, they really like a lot of recognition and praise. So their symbol is the star. They like to have fun. Next party you have, invite a high I, and it will be a success. The third type we're going to talk about is the S group. That is, S stands for supportive. These are the supportive type. They like sameness, steadiness. They are very stable people. Their symbol is the plus or minus, meaning more or less. They can be what you need them to be. In fact, sometimes they're referred to as the human chameleon. They most desire peace and harmony, and they are the sweetest people in the room today. we love and need our S's. Great on team, too. They'll help you get the job finished. The last type is the C personality. They are cautious, calculating, and competent. Their symbol is the question mark because they have so many questions. They like quality answers, correctness, and value. And they're usually the smartest people in the room, by the way. So, quick overview. D's do things the fast way. I's do things the fun way. S's the traditional way, and C's the right way. So, all types are wonderful. We need all types of people in this world. The idea here and the goal is not to pigeonhole people, it is to understand them. So, as you can see, people do see the world from their own perspective, and now I hope that you'll understand and see why that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.